Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, April 26, 2016. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Calling for a fresh breeze within the opposition New Democratic Party, founder Sir James Mitchell made a call for current president of the NDP and opposition leader Arnin Eustace to resign. Mitchell, who served as this country's prime minister for 17 years, handed the position to Eustace back in 2000 after stepping down and going into retirement. Sir James, who has been silent on matters related to his political party for some time, was now speaking on a radio show today. He says it is critical that supporters of the party not become turned off by stagnation from the leadership.
I trust Mr. Eustace will understand the anguish he's causing the supporters of the party by not giving them an opportunity to win. For him to be organized, we should be doing things to see where. You see, who wants me? Get some people from Barbados to come and go forward and let them tell you where you stand. Don't worry with Sir Mitchell. Sir Mitchell, here today, all I know, as the people used to say, about, when you have a dead in the house, you got to open the window and let in some breeze, and the people need some fresh breeze. Go home, enjoy yourself. Come and drink some good wine with me. I forgive you. And all I have to say finally, I don't want to be graduate now. In terms of my party, I say, Father, forgive them. They don't have what to do.
Sir James says supporters need inspiration and not castigation, and questioned whether Eustace wanted to be in opposition all his life.
All over the world, when you lose an election, you offer to step aside. It's the norm. Look at the British elections the other day. And the Labour Party, it lost. Who resigned? Leader of the Liberal Party, resigned. The leader of the UKIP, resigned. But then the people in UKIP says, we need you. And they did not accept it. You should, first of all, if you are leading the truth, it should affect your conscience. Well, I disappoint these people. Let them try somewhere and let the party force to say, but don't steal your surveillances on the leader of the opposition, right? You know, we should force it to step aside. Don't wait for people to be totally tired. Don't do that, man. You don't need all that.
Insisting that it is the right of persons to picket and protest, the founder of the New Democratic Party, or the NDP, Sir James Mitchell, says any attempt to prevent persons from exercising this right is treading on dangerous ground. He, however, believed that both the government and the opposition have violated the rights of persons by not ensuring that they follow the rule of law.
My considered opinion that the right to protest and assemble is inviolate in our Constitution. That right exists all over St. Vincent, irrespective of location, and any law that trespasses on that right is on delicate and dangerous ground. The arithmetic of the election is not on the side of the protester. But the fact that there is no reasonable bound of protest does not mean that persons don't have the right to protest. Even though you're wrong, you have a right, and nobody. And in my view, both government and opposition has trampled on democracy when they're dealing with this issue.
When asked why he never used police force to quell the 2001 protest action, Sir James says that he did not want a repeat of the Union Island uprisings. The founder of the NDP says that when the then opposition Unity Labour Party also ensured that they had the police and other civil servants on their side by promising a 30% salary increase.
The police up there were allotted from headquarters of what to do in Europa. The people in Europa, however instruction were given to the police before. No the point is they thought they were going to get 30% salary increase. The doctors were ready to strike. The nurses, the civil servants who should have known that any Ministry of Finance that's invincible with the pending collapse in the mining industry, we couldn't pay those, we couldn't afford that kind of money. But that was the name of the game. And what is more, people ask me, what is the bringing RSS? After what had transpired in Union Island, with arresting all the people in Union Island, dragging up 22 youth from Union Island, taking out the seats of the Twin Otter, not the Twin Otter, or whatever plane they had there, the Islander, taking out the seats to put the people on the plane, chained. And the people in St. Vincent at the airport cheering, never.
6 residents of the Central Leeward constituency have written a letter addressed to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, Colin Williams, and copy to Speaker of the House, Jomo Thomas, requesting an investigation into the citizenship status of their parliamentary representative, Sir Louis Straker. The letter, dated April 11, 2016, stated grave concern regarding the persistent rumors in the community and country about Sir Louis' U.S. citizenship and being a candidate in the general elections. They called for the issue to be put to rest and for Sir Louis to confirm or deny the allegations. One of the petitioners, Michael Cyrus, told SVG-TV News via a telephone interview the ambiguity of the MP's nationality is disrespectful.
If it is the situation that he's still a citizen of the United States, why did he run? Because it is not, permissible. Put it that way. It's only a question they're asking him. If he doesn't answer, he shows that he has no respect for the people who he wants to represent. So how could he represent if he doesn't have the respect for us? We'd be asking questions but not getting any answer. He'd be ignoring us all the time. So we're really asking the question, what has happened? What is happening? Now I saw Mr. Charles, Commissioner for this charge, is making a statement and on page 3 of the Vincentian. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law. But then I am asking the question again, is Mr. Straker breaking the law by not saying whether he's still a citizen or not? I don't know. I'm asking a question.
Cyrus stated that a similar matter regarding the dual citizenship of Minister Camilo Gonsalves had surfaced. However, that has been put to rest after the necessary proof was provided that he had given up his United States status and that similar concrete evidence is needed from Sir Louis.
Disrespect, dishonesty, or whatever it is, if you know that you have given up, what is so difficult to say, yes, I've given up on the 12th of March, such and such and such and such. What is wrong with saying that? Why the secrecy? Why do you want to behave like that? If you respect the people who you say voted for you and you are there as a representative, represent them with respect. Understand? Nobody goes to him and behave in any funny way. So I would very much like him to tell Central Leeward people his situation. I would like to know, and a great deal of people would also like to know.
When contacted for a response on the subject matter, we were told that Sir Louis is currently out of state. Noting that the incidences of child abuse are many and are seemingly growing in society, Queen's Counsel Parnell Campbell said the issue needs to be dealt with head-on. Speaking on his weekly televised program, The Law and You, last evening, Campbell noted that the issue is complex as one of the biggest factors is when persons who are aware of the issue never bring it to the fore. The Queen's Counsel stated that while child abuse exists in many forms, there is one particular form of abuse that disheartens him, that being when fathers do not support or maintain their children.
Sexual abuse, physical abuse in terms of beatings, merciless and brutal beatings, psychological abuse in terms of the denigrating of these children, the abuse by fathers who do not maintain their children. Anytime a father doesn't mind his children, he is guilty of child abuse. And you don't have to wait till a maintenance order is made against you in the family court or in the magistrate's court. Once you know a child is yours, or you have no reason to doubt that a child is yours, and you are in a position to assist in maintaining the child, you ought to do so. So failure to maintain children is a serious form of child abuse.
Commending the work of the government in collaboration with UNICEF in its creation of the Child Protection Policy, Campbell noted that there is no lack of laws in SVG as it relates to the protection of children. However, there is a problem where the country's resources do not permit for sufficient reinforcement to police a system of protection.
What we lack, however, is the enforcement of the laws, the application of the laws to the given situation. We simply cannot afford the numbers of persons it takes to make those laws effective. And as I hinted before, whenever the laws are applied and persons are taken into custody and charged, in very many cases they get off because of lack of evidence.
Campbell further calls for attention to be placed on looking over the laws of evidence to see whether or not they should be modified in order to aid in the proper prosecution of criminals.
I want to suggest to the Honorable Attorney General and the DPP's office that they perhaps should commission one of their staff to do a study of the laws of evidence and to see whether the laws of evidence should not be modified to make it less difficult to obtain convictions. Particularly the law with regard to corroboration. Sometimes the laws are applied so rigidly that a clever lawyer can assist a guilty person getting off through using the loopholes and the technicalities of the law. Perhaps we need to study and see how some of those technicalities can be closed up.
The Queen's Counsel also took the time to mention instances of reverse child abuse where parents experience abuse from their children. He said this is another social problem which the society remains silent on.
You would be amazed to know the number of parents who live as fugitives in their own homes. Parents struggle to bring up their children. The children come, they get an education, and instead of turning back to assist their parents as the parents decline in years and cannot really fend and make a living for themselves, they become very ungrateful and have their parents going to their graves in grief. That is child abuse, abuse by children. You know how many old people die from grief, not from medical ailment, just grieved to death because they have been abused by the very children to whom they gave birth and nurtured and succored throughout their lives. And people know about these things, but again, people don't talk because you don't want to get yourself involved.
For St. Vincent and the Grenadines to upscale agriculture, there needs to be a move beyond the theoretical talk into practical action. That's the view of Jethro Green, coordinator of the Caribbean Farmers Network, CARFAN, in his remarks of the at the opening ceremony of a 3-day workshop hosted here by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, or the IICA, the Caribbean Agriculture and Research Development Institute, CARDI, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. The workshop aims to link Caribbean small and medium-sized agriculture enterprises and producers with business, agricultural and finance experts sharing their knowledge and enterprise. Green says Green says while such organizations may have a wealth of technical skills, it must be the farmers and the farmer organizations to implement the recommendations in practical terms.
So this project, a support that we are getting from AICA, is for us to deliver the product that would go to the market and ensure sustained profitability and wealth for our farmers. If at the end of this, we just come out with a nice report saying, oh, this project was done and this indicator, the blah, 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 and you can't show me a couple of container loads of sweet potato, dasheen, ginger, and hot pepper, whatever, to go to the market, then it will be a waste of time. For us to scale up agriculture, we need to move beyond the theoretical talk to practical action. And that's why you see, alongside some of our VFCs, I've brought some of our top leaders here. We are going to aim for that output, because at the end of this project, we want to say, we have these things going into the market. The people in the market are willing to work with us.
Also making remarks was Minister of Agriculture, Soboto Caesar, who says the absence of statistical data in small island states is one of the greatest inhibitors of growth and development in the agriculture sector, noting that an importance must be placed on statistics along with the correct and timely marketing intelligence, which would be beneficial to farmers.
If we don't study the markets and if we don't have the correct and in-time marketing intelligence, we will not be able to pass the information readily on to the farmers. I can boast that I believe St. Vincent and the Grenadines produces the best dasheen in the Caribbean. I may be wrong. We gave out some loans to about 2,500 farmers, Farmer Support Company. But what that did is that it has kept the price for dasheen down at a historical low. We gave out monies to dasheen farmers, and because we were not able to marry this explosion in production with the creation of new markets, we continue to flood Pagaramos, Arima, and the Tuna Puna, the market in Tuna Puna and the market in South. And the farmers are not in a position where they can readily repay their loans. We have to make sure that we continue to study the thing.
Caesar says he is pleased that the workshop brings together experts from across the region where knowledge can be shared.
I want to say to us, we have a good thing going. Let us build on the unity that we already have. We no longer have a mother country to bring the factors of production in agriculture for us. In the 1800s, this meeting would have been taking place in London, or in Madrid, or in Barcelona. But we are going to do it for ourselves. I see this meeting as a journey along the pathway, ensuring that we reflect our independence as a people. We have a lot of bright persons in this room. Let us put our heads together and make this thing happen. Thank you very much.
The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is currently investigating the death of 36-year-old Carlos Richardson, also known as Bob of Otley Hall. Reports indicate that Richardson received a gunshot wound to the upper right side of his back and he died on the spot. The murder of Richardson, a father of 3, is the 9th homicide of the year, and SVG-TV News understands that one person is currently assisting the police with their investigations. The victim's brother told SVG-TV News he was shocked when he heard the news, and he's calling for justice.
So going a little coconut hustle with my cousin this morning at Boozer, and while we was driving coming into town, he didn't want to tell me on the phone when he called me. But when we was driving into town, he told me that my brother just get murdered. Somebody shoot him from his back and kill him. And I feel so sad because I know my brother is a good man and he's a Rasta man too. So I feel so sad to see that somebody just murdered my brother, and I would like to see justice come out of it. You know what I mean? somebody is penalized. These kind of crime keep happening in St. Vincent a lot, and we seeing more criminals getting breed, more criminals coming out every day, and we ain't having no justice. And I like to see justice come to this. You know what I mean? Because I feel hurt real bad. This is the first time I'm coming over by my brother. My brother invite me to come by him for so much years. And look what had to bring me here today.
And a number of persons from the Otley Hall community echoed the call for justice and more so a beef up of security in their community.
It's a sad news to me this morning. Today I thought my soul and starting like that and ended up in a position. Yeah, very sad. You deserve it, and everybody come out for him because by me. I mean, see, he deserves that day. He deserves it. And he whosoever do it, they have to face it.
Please don't run right. Please don't run right. It's a police son. I'm a sleep, brother. Check. We're going to put them sleeping. What would them put them now do? Check. They're going to put them and we're not sleeping. I'm going to come in. They're running.
It's not time. Pop in this office, kind of little bit. Looking for justice on the space, we can't live in Baghdad. And then good. It could be me. And it could be someone on fire. For the fire. And security, good security. Since they're going to hold strongly, you know, when they used to be immobile, they do good. Okay, this is in the house is a problem. I'll respect that everybody. You want to change that.
I want to see justice. We are very sad. The Papa's just losing my daughter. We really want to see justice because I ain't get no justice with my son and no Bob gone again. I would like to see justice come out for Bob because he don't trouble nobody. Bob don't trouble nobody, and this is really Atrial. I don't know what's coming out of the Atrial. The young man and then just taking kill for make a pleasure in their life.
The police are investigating the death of an unidentified female who was fished out of the water in the Indian Bay area at about 6:30 a.m. today. The body is currently at the Kingstown mortuary. The police is soliciting the assistance of the general public who have missed a family member or friend to visit the mortuary to identify the body. Vincentians are being urged to take the necessary precautions when it comes to water safety, and with the summer period approaching, the local Coast Guard service is appealing especially to sea bathers to be careful in the water. SVG-TV's Fia King looks at the issue of water safety in this report.
With the recent drownings in SVG, it has brought concern to Vincentians on the safety measures that persons should take when they go to the beach. We recently visited the Warriku beachfront, a place that has the most dangerous waters in St. Vincent. Rough waves, riptides, strong currents, and many persons are oblivious to its danger. We spoke to two members of the Coast Guard on ways persons can be safe and well prepared when they go to the beach.
Some safety tips that we would advise people who are going to the beach to take into consideration. One, swimming with a buddy. We encourage people to swim parallel to the shoreline. If you're not a strong swimmer, it doesn't make sense that you swim out to sea and then you're going to get out there and panic. If you're going to be on the beach for a long period of time, do not eat too much heavy food. Also, alcohol and swimming doesn't really and truly mix. I would also encourage people to have like a local knowledge of the beach that they're going to. If not, if you're planning a picnic, you're planning a trip, go to the area before, recce the area, talk to the locals that are living in the area and find out really and truly about the beach that you're going to and the safety aspects of that beach.
A common water issue in our island's waters are riptides, which can pull even the strongest swimmer far out in the sea, and with the wrong reaction, they can die.
Here at Warriku we have a lot of, a constant rip current. It's been here ever since and it has caused a lot of damage on human life. Basically because of our carelessness and not paying attention to some of these environments and the warnings that we would have had based from the radios and our parents and Coast Guard posting signs and so on the beach. We do not pay attention to these areas. The rip current that we normally have here at Warriku, you can recognize it by the difference in the color of the water. We have a wave that is coming in on the top side, and then another wave is coming in on the bottom side, and it pulls in the center, goes back out to sea. The rip current operates that it pulls us out to sea. We have the tendency of one to swim back to shore, but that may be your downfall in the sense that you may not be strong enough or a strong swimmer to physically get back to shore. So what we do, and the easiest thing to do, is to swim along the beach or to go back out to sea with it and try to come up on the rocks. So when we're planning to come to the beach, we walk with simple things. You can walk with something that floats. Part of a shortcut that we can do is put a ball in a sack, one of those netty sacks with a long piece of string to it, and you can throw that ball from any distance. Don't try to brave the environment. Nature is much stronger than us.
Vincentians are encouraged to read the signs on the beaches, take heed to safety precautions and advice, and be wise as the ocean may show no mercy. Fia King reporting for SVG-TV Evening News.
A new team has been elected to manage the affairs of this country's lone agribusiness or agro-processing cluster, VincyClus, for the next 3 years. A recent general meeting of the cluster saw the SVG Bureau of Standards Simeon Bacchus being elected president of VincyClus, with Desiree Lewis of the Ministry of Agriculture being returned as vice president. The Center for Enterprise Development Incorporated, or the CED, Nisha Glasgow, remained as coordinator, general secretary, with Madonna Douglas as assistant secretary. Elizabeth Cyrus of Cyrus Chips was elected treasurer, with Shawnette Gurley as assistant treasurer. Keisha Phillips returned as public relations officer, or PRO, with Alita Garraway of Auroras as assistant PRO. VincyClus was founded on September 16, 2012, under a special initiative by the Center for Enterprise Development Incorporated through its EU-funded Business Gateway project. It was officially launched on November 10th of 2012. Its main objective is to increase and strengthen the capacity of individual producers through export development training, marketing and promotions, and information support, in order to enhance and develop the export capacity of firms to take full advantage of market access opportunities. Its membership comprises persons, enterprises, institutions, and agencies that constitute the value chain for agribusiness development in SVG. Meanwhile, VincyClus is set to hold a general meeting next Thursday, May 5th at 9 a.m. at the CED conference room. This will see the new board presenting its action plan for 2016 to its members.